Hey guys, we're out here today at Bald Mountain with the pickup and the 4Runner. I told you in the last video that we were going to do a walk around of the pickup, so here it is. Starting with the front end, you can see that we cut all the IFS off of this truck. This is an 88 pickup, and we welded on a trail gear leaf spring eliminator kit and mounted a solid axle from a 1981 pickup. And this is a low range off-road spring hanger. And we also gusseted the entire frame with plates here so that we don't rip the shock mount off of the frame. The shock mounts are low range off-road, Bilstein 5125s. Those come with the trail gear kit. This axle is built with long-filled chromoly axles, dirty 30s, and it also has 529 gears in the pumpkin. It's open at the moment. I don't know if I plan to lock it. I haven't had any issues with it. The knuckleballs are gusseted with a Marlin crawler kit, and it has your standard V6 brake upgrade and FJ rotors that come with the trail gear kit. When I was installing the bump stops, I thought they were a little bit too long, so I cut 1 inch off of both bump stops. So these guys are shorter than they normally are, and I haven't had any issues with it. Has extended brake lines on the front, 250 wall custom drive shafts, front and rear, trail gear skid plate, and dual transfer cases. We have 529s in the rear, of course, and a Yukon Grizzly locker, which I've had no issues with at all. I replaced all flanges with triple drilled flanges. Trail gear classic lift in the rear. One of the things that I did on my swap that I don't see a lot of people doing is custom bending brake lines and getting a bracket that makes sure that these don't get snagged up on anything. I see a lot of guys running these with just brake lines hanging all over the place, and it's going to get snagged up on something and get torn off. So since I drive this to the trails and it's not trailered, I wanted to be sure that this didn't break. And this bracket right here is from Low Range Off-Road. The tires are 37-inch Cooper Discoverer STT Pros. I got them used off of Facebook for $500, and they actually still have really good tread. So I think it was a good buy. And they're also not 10 years old. They're like from 2017. Had to cut the fenders just a little bit right here to fit the 37s, and had to bash the frame pinch weld in just a little bit too. The power steering box is rebuilt with new seals. You can get those online. We have a low range off-road shock mount welded between the frame rails and a triangulated shock system here. The ride's a little bit rougher, but the flex is a little bit better, so we're gonna go ahead and stick with that. These are also Bilstein 5125s. The exhaust system was done by a local shop here. There's nothing special about it. It's just your typical turbo thrush muffler, and it's just tucked up away from trail objects. You can't really see it, but under this 3/8 plate, there's a dual transfer case set up, and I'm using a 228 and a 47. If you're curious about how these work, I have another video on my channel explaining how dual transfer cases operate. So feel free to take a look at that. But basically this helps me get into really low crawl ratios, and I have a lot of control on the rocks. And the mounts that I have on there are the trail gear bomb-proof mounts. How could I almost forget the best part? Has a fuel injected 22RE. Yeah, that's a whole 90 horsepower of greatness right there. For real though, this thing does get me where I need to go. It's never had one problem ever. It's a brand new 22RE. It's all rebuilt. This thing runs perfect. And also a local shop here called Northside 4x4. If you're in the Fresno area, I really recommend you check them out. They're located in Old Town Clovis. Plasma cut me this mount and welded it in where my battery tray was. So we have a really sturdy setup here. Don't have to worry about this thing flying out and getting caught up in the belt or anything like that. For the interior, just your standard beat up Toyota pickup interior. I have the dual cases and the twin sticks. So we have a 470 and a 228. Have red needles in the gauge cluster. I did that in a previous video. It's actually really easy to do. You just take off the gauge cluster, pull off the plastic cover, and take a red Sharpie to those needles. Also have red LEDs in there. The truck also has 2nd gen 4Runner seats in it, which are pretty much a direct bolt-in. You can see there the mounts are all the factory mounts, but you kind of have to expand this hole a little bit. You can see where I expanded the mounting hole there. And then these seats will bolt right into a 2nd gen pickup. And last but not least, it has chromoly axles in the rear as well. If you guys have any questions about anything else, feel free to ask in the comments. I would be happy to answer and help if you need it. So we're gonna take this pickup and that 4Runner up the Bald Mountain Trail system, which is right over there. Okay, so that looked close, but it's actually a little bit of a walk. I'm over here walking up to the trailhead of Bald Mountain just to show you guys what it looks like when it's covered in snow. So here it is. All right, so this trail is about 3 miles long. It's a pretty easy trail. There's a hard side to it, but the hard side's still pretty easy if you have any somewhat built rig. Probably not gonna go up too far because neither of us have a winch and there's a lot of snow up here. We basically have no recovery gear. So anyway, that's the Bald Mountain Trail system. As you can see right there, we're gonna go take our trucks up this thing with no recovery gear and see how far we get. Hopefully we don't get stuck. We were a little concerned that all the snow was gonna hold us up because as you see, my truck doesn't have a front or a rear bumper and we don't have winches either. So this is actually really stupid of us to be up here. But the farther that we got up the trail, for the most part, it's all just mud and dirt now. But back this way, there was a lot of snow. And this guy has really, really bald all-terrains. So yeah, we're kind of just gonna play it safe here. need to back up and you need to come on it straight. So try to get your passenger tire onto that rock. Passenger. More passenger. Yep. Good. Nice, dude. Nice, man. It's a little bit harder for that truck because it's on IFS, but it also doesn't have any lockers. It's open front, open rear. So that combined with these conditions out here, it's gonna be kind of challenging for that truck, but we're doing it. We're heading back down the mountain already. We both don't have any sort of recovery gear, so we felt that it was kind of unsafe to push forward. So we're going back down, gonna air up, and then head home. All right, guys, that's it for this adventure. We're over here airing up our tires. Takes forever with this little guy on the 37-inch tires. Yeah, we didn't capture the kind of footage I wanted to capture, but overall, it was a great day. It was fun snow wheeling. We only got about halfway up. We could have probably made it the entire way, but just wanted to play it safe, not having any recovery gear or a winch. So anyway, catch you guys in the next video. Later.